Happy game day, Puckers. Thanks for checking us out. So, we're going to do a little quick preview of tonight's game, some keys to the game against the Florida Panthers tonight. Just a quick little, we'll call it our little power play episode, just to kind of throw something out there, a couple of keys to the game. And if it works, you guys like it. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, click that subscribe button, click that like button. It really does help us, and it goes a long way in promoting the podcast. This little Power Play episode is brought to us by Used to Be's Island Eatery, located at 287 Route 35 in Manalocan. Used to Be's is a great place, man. It has fantastic food. We talked a few episodes ago about pizza, and I have to say, since trying this place's pizza, they might have the best pizza around. Absolutely delicious. Great burgers, loaded nachos, delicious entrees. Big bar, lots of TVs. You can watch all the NHL games, all your NFL games. Used to Be is a fantastic place. Private parties, up to 60, 70 people. They do a really, really good job. Fantastic food, really good service. They have bar bingo, live entertainment. Just go to usetobees.com and check out their event page. You'll get a list of all their weekly lunch and dinner specials. That's Used to Be's Island Eatery, 287 Route 35 in Manalocan, New Jersey. But first, we'll get back to this. So the Devils, 2 games in, some uninspiring hockey. We pulled out a win on opening night against the Red Wings, failed to get the second point in the overtime and shootout against the Arizona Coyotes. But tonight we face the reigning, the defending, also the winless Florida Panthers. That game will be, puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight at The Rock. Game is on MSG Network, and Bill Spalding and Ken Danico will be on the call. Florida Panthers are 0-2. They started their season with a shutout loss to Minnesota. Then they lost Saturday night 6-4 to Winnipeg. So they're starting a little rough. Nowhere near as bad. The Devils are nowhere near as bad as Florida. At least the Devils have a 3 out of 4 points. Florida's still looking for their first. So they're going to be coming in tonight, really trying to take their pound of flesh from the Devils. So Devils are 1-2 against Florida last season, with all the games ending 4-2. But it's a new year, 2 new teams. What are some keys to the game? Well, I think the first key to the game is the Devils have got to start fast. The first 2 games, they didn't score in the first period, and they didn't score first. They got to get on the board early. They got to keep Florida, excuse me, they got to keep Florida, on their heels, and they have to come in and, we all know how talented this team is, and we all know how good this team's going to be. Well, they just got to kind of get in the groove. It's very early in the season, and a good way to do that is come out fast. Florida's going to come out flying. They're going to try and put the Devils back on their heels. The Devils need to sustain whatever few-minute pressure, first 10 minutes against Florida, and then they need to step it up. They can score on this team. I don't think that Bobrovsky is a fantastic goalie. I do think we have the better goalie with Vanacek in there tonight. So start fast, get the first goal. Do not play catch up in this game. It's been a killer for this team. The second key to this game, special teams. Devils are 10th in the league through 2 games on the power play at a rate of 27.3%. We can live with that. 16 minor penalties in 2 games, that's unacceptable. And they're at a 63.6% on the penalty kill. That's 29th in the league. They are almost dead last on the penalty kill. I don't have the numbers, but I'm pretty sure the Devils were 4th in the league last year. They ended 4th in penalty kill. They're 29th. Pardon my language, but they need to clean this shit up and stay out of the box. Last year, they were one of the best 5-on-5 teams. Get back to that. Don't take the stupid penalties. Which brings me to the next key, which is it's okay to be assholes. Florida is going to come out really hard. They're going to play a physical, gritty game. The Devils have to be able to respond. Now, I don't want to see stupid retaliatory penalties that ends up putting us in trouble, and Florida ends up capitalizing on some chances. But the Devils need to be a physical presence. We know that this is how Florida likes to play. You can't have guys like Matthew Tkachuk just camping out in front of Vanacek and nobody touching them. This is where guys like Timo Meyer, Tyler Toffoli, even Curtis Lazar and Michael McLeod are more physical guys. Nate Bastion and especially Kevin Ball, they need to step it up and they need to match the physicality. We haven't really seen that with the Devils. It's something that we know they are lacking, but that's something that has to get done. And tonight is the perfect opportunity for it. We know how Florida plays. They are a sandpaper, gritty team. Devils have to match it. So we'll see how that goes. The next key to this game, the captain. The captain needs to lead. Nico Hischier and that line have been atrocious through two games. Um, Timo Meyer, has been around, but we haven't really seen a whole lot. Nico Hischier's been non-existent on the ice. Dawson Mercer's been non-existent over 2 games. This is one of our best lines, our second best line, and some nights should be the best line, and they haven't done anything. Now, I don't know if that means splitting them up. We talked a little bit on the last show about, hey, maybe it's time to throw Alex Holtz back on that first line and bring Dawson Mercer down to play with Palat and Hala. We saw it in the preseason. Alex Holtz definitely had some chemistry there. It was some of the best hockey we've seen from him since he's been up with the big club. And then the season starts and he gets knocked down to the third line. Okay, whatever. I think it's time now. Let's move him back up. Now, on Sunday, reports were coming out that in practice, Lindy Ruff had moved Andre Palat up to that first line. So it made or it's the second line now. You guys know what I'm talking about. But that line now was over practice was Palat, Hischier, Meyer, which meant the third line was Hala, Holtz, and Mercer. Look, if it works, it works. If it's anything that they can do right now to get that spark under their ass and get that line moving, because that line is super duper important to the success of this team, let's get it going tonight. So whatever Lindy has to do, throw them in the little boggle button, pop it, whatever they come up, they come up. But would like to see Alex Holtz on that line. If it's Palat, it's Palat. I'm fine with that. Just something to maybe shake it up. And the final key of the game, it's Miller time. We went out and traded for Colin Miller, and he hasn't played. Now, Brendan Smith has been here for a couple of years. I understand that maybe you want to give him the start in the last 2 games, but we all like Brendan Smith, but he's not giving you any offense. He's a solid defenseman when he stays out of the penalty box. He takes a tripping penalty late in that game against the Coyotes, and it is directly responsible for that power play goal that sent the team into overtime and eventually losing in the shootout, rather. Apologies. So let's get Colin Miller in there. All right, we gave something up for the guy. Let's get him in. Brendan Smith can have a seat. He's been a healthy scratch. It's time to play. I think those are the changes that need to be made. I think those are the keys to this game. If the Devils start fast, they get production from that Hischier line. Colin Miller pops in there, maybe gives that little bit more stability on the blue line. They got to play some physical hockey tonight, and they just stay out of the penalty box. It's simple. It's very early in the season. We know how good this team is going to be. We know how dynamically offensive they can be. Well, we haven't really seen it through 2 games. That's all right. It's early. It's only game 3. Tonight's the night. Florida's going to come in. They're reeling. Devils need to step it up, foot on the gas, and not let out. I see a Devils big win tonight. I see the Devils winning by 2 or more, and that's what we want to see. We are going to dive deep into that game tomorrow on the Uncle Pucker episode, where Chris, me, Dan, Bobby, and Tony will all be here. We're going to discuss that, and then we're going to get a little bit into the upcoming road games that are ahead for the Devils, and we have a few other fun things. So, again, thank you guys so much for checking us out. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. It's like I said, a great way to help us promote the show. And look for these little episodes, whether I'm doing it or one of the other guys is doing it, some keys to the games before each game up on the YouTube channel. So we'll see you tonight.